remind ourselves that they have taken 3 of 6 points out of Carolina.
That's pretty nuts.
You're not meant to beat Carolina right now. You're not meant to beat Tampa either.
Right.
Every other team in the division is beatable, but you're not meant to beat those 2 teams. So taking any matter of points against them is a win to me.
Yeah.
Based on where this team is at.
Yeah.
The fact that they were in that, they've been in every single game against Carolina. That's insane to me.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and I kind of want to, quantify this whole conversation with the one that we had earlier in the season where you and I basically mirrored the opinion that we weren't expecting them to even be anywhere close to a competitive team.
No, especially those first 3 games.
Yeah, those first few games, they got shelled.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're in a playoff spot. And they look good, too. Like, they passed the eye test for the most part, too, right?
Everything except for chances allowed. That is still pretty suspect.
Yeah.
They still allow the most shots in the league per game.
Really?
Yes. Not by a ton, but by enough. They're about 29, 30 shots against a game.
That's not that bad.
But it's the worst in the league. You don't want to be averaging 30, because that means you're going above that sometimes.
That's true.
And when you are allowing more than 30, 35 shots in a game, you're not meant to win those games almost ever.
Yeah. But again, tons of new faces on the blue line and a rookie goalie. Right.
Well, that goalie is probably the biggest reason that you're in this spot right now.
Definitely. Well, and that leads us nicely into our next point, too, because I wanted to kind of rattle off some players and give them a letter grade as to what we've thought that they've been this season.
Sure. I don't know if you're going to get here, too, but can we talk about the coach, too, and give him a grade, too?
Yeah,
because I'd like to talk about him.
Yeah, well, actually, let's just start with him. Let's start with Colliton. And I've seen a couple of other things. Now that we're starting to get, third of the way into the season, we're starting to see some front runners for some trophies. It's always a fun conversation, right?
Yes.
I saw one the other day for the Jack Adams, which is the trophy given for the best coach in the league. And there were a bunch of different names up there, but one of them was actually Colin, which I was really surprised to see. So how about you? What letter grade are you giving him and why?
B+.
Okay. Elaborate for me.
Give him a B+ because expectations are pretty low for him, I think, coming into this year. And he had a really tough first few games. And we all kind of thought, well, he's got a lot of injuries and he's working with rookie goaltenders. How much can you get out of this team? But since then, since those first few games, he's gotten the most out of this team pretty much on a nightly basis. Has he gotten bailed out by his goalie a few times? Oh, for sure. But I see, like, last year when I was watching this team play, I had an issue with Colliton because I thought he wasn't getting anything out of anybody not named Patrick Kane. Mm-hmm. Like, it seemed like nobody was having a good season except for Kane. And he always has a good season. It doesn't matter who his coach is.
Right.
I could coach Patrick Kane and he would have a good season. But this year, so many players on this team are having one of the better seasons of their careers because Colliton is getting a lot out of them. And now he's employed a system that the players have bought into. And don't just take my word for it. Many of the players have said in post-game pressers, like, yeah, we're all bought in. We're playing hard for each other. We're leaving it all out there on the ice. That wasn't happening last year. Mm-hmm. And that is because of Colliton, at least in majority. Maybe not entirely because of him, but he has a lot to do with that. I'm worried to give him an A just because, like, there's always room to improve. And, he could be – we've seen cases where coaches take this kind of team and bring him into a surefire playoff spot. We're not there yet. But he at least warrants that grade for me. I think he's been really, really solid. And there's really not much for me to complain about there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think those are all great points. I'm not going to be weary of giving him an A because that's what I'm going to give him.
Fair enough.
I think that the only thing that he could be doing better is having this team in an established playoff spot, which is in no way or no how the expectation. But that's the only way that this could be any better, right? He has taken a team that has been absolutely decimated with injuries. No Taves, your captain, top 3 player on the team. No Kirby Dach, who was having an excellent season last year, had an excellent playoff, and was poised to break out big time.
Yes.
He's a huge impact player.
Yep.
No Alex Nylander, who, again, was my X factor for this season after, kind of stabilizing in a role, and his skill set is there. I think he was going to be a nice piece. And no goaltending, right? Everybody was like, look at this team's goalies. They're going to finish bottom 5 in the league. Everybody had this team slated bottom 5 in the league. And he's, despite all of that, they're in a playoff spot. And to mirror what you said, the players are playing a system that works. We touched on this a couple episodes ago. The first couple of years that Colliton was here, his system very clearly was not working. It was like this man-on-man system where he had Patrick Kane playing the same way as he would have Andrew Shaw, right? They were all doing the same thing. There wasn't really much free-flowing creativity to be had in the system. And you see it now. It's all based off of speed, off of forechecking, and it's way more free-flowing, gives players the chance to be creative. And I think that's a huge reason why a lot of these guys are having really successful seasons. Kane is still Patrick Kane. DeBrincat having an enormous bounce-back season. That was a big concern, too. After last season, he's like, okay, is he a 40-goal scorer or is he a 20-goal scorer?